Okay, welcome back to Motorsport Manager, everybody then. And it's time for race number 6. Pretty good result last time out, 2nd and 6th. Kept those points ticking over, and actually, due to the other results, means we now lead the championship. We need to push on though, we're getting towards the end of the season. Our car is improving all the time, and Eckers seems to have got a bit of form back, which we're going to need if we're going to take this Constructors' Championship. But let's get on with the episode then. Okay, let's get rid of the interviews. We don't need any of those. Dreyfus very happy with a podium. Good, good. Right, new gearbox is finished. So let's get straight on with making another part. We're going to make another new engine. We're going to go top speed. Again, we're going to go top speed. We're just going to go for maximum performance. Plus 40 top speed during the race with that great part. We're going to have a lot of reliability to improve, but once we do, that'll be a rocking engine right there. Right, so let's get that built. Very costly, but we seem to be doing alright in the finance department, so it's enabling us to really push this car as far as we can this season. Right, so let's have a look then. So yeah, we need to improve that engine reliability. Where's that new gearbox then? We're going to transfer from that suspension to this suspension. That gearbox is maxed out, so let's get rid of that performance and transfer it over to that one. We need to improve the reliability of that suspension, so we'll actually switch that reliability from there to there. And I think I've got one more performance. Where should we stick that then? We shall put that with that brakes. We don't know why it's all on performance, but we need reliability as well as performance. So we'll split that 10-10 and we're ready to go. We really cannot afford to make any mistakes at this time of the year. Who knows how it would have turned out last season, but if we hadn't made that mistake 2 races from the end last time, we would have had a better chance of taking the title. So we need to be perfect from here on in. Our car is still not the best, so we need to really make sure we take any advantage that comes to us in the races. We can put a vote in for 1 million. Don't really want to, because I'm hoping we're not going to be here next season, so it would just be a waste of 1 million, so we shall reject that offer. I would bring qualifying, to be fair, if I did choose one, because I hate starting at the bloody back of the grid, but again, hopefully we're not here to see that rule change. I'd really like to see qualifying base grids fail in the next GMA vote. Is that? Oh, that's actually the next vote anyway. Huh. Will you look at that? No, my vote is not for sale, and I wouldn't fail it. I'm going to vote for it. Just in case we're here next season, I would love to see qualifying back, because qualifying is normally the most exciting condensed time of any motorsport weekend. Seeing the ultimate pace of the cars play out in front of you. And my god, starting at the back of the grid really does add an element of goodness knows what's going to happen in the race. And it's really not gone to our favour sometime. Right, that new engine is built. We shall get straight in there and just make another part. We're going to make some more brakes. We will go with plus deceleration. Plus deceleration and reliability, that's good. Plus 40, that great part there. Okay, let's get those built. Now, what can we switch to that engine? Let's improve that engine, but I don't know what we can switch from it really. Oh, I think something's maxed out because that's now disappeared. So we can stick the reliability there. And we'll switch the performance from those brakes to that engine. That's not going to be ready for a while. Neither of those engines are, to be fair. But unless we cancel something else, I guess. How long have we got? 17 days. Let's switch the reliability pretty heavily. So 16.4. Let's see if we can get those two engines ready for the next race. Those new brakes seem to be finishing absolutely flying with these parts at the moment. I don't know why it stopped it there. Please continue. So I'm hoping Ecker continues her rise in form. She's only 11th in the championship. And those 5 points, they're crucial, but she really should be on a higher number than that at the moment. It's a little bit disappointing, especially how close she pushed Dreyfus last year. Yes, I know I'm on target, James. Do leave me alone, buddy. Brakes finished. Okay. I think we will make that the final part. Actually, no, just keep chaining those parts. Let's do it. We can probably take that reliability from that suspension and stick that over on those brakes. And what should we build next? Let's build some more suspension, shall we? Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Medium speed. Build. Okay. Those parts are flying out of the factory. Oh, financial concern. Will you just leave it, James? I know what I'm doing. True Kimmy style. Right. We're going to go 8 for above, just get that $500,000 in the bank. I'm sure we'll be able to get $500,000, I hope. First, third and second in the last 3 races. I would hope so. Alright, let's see what we can get on the car then. Those brakes. It's a big performance increase. So I think we will switch it. We'll give them to Dreyfus. And we'll give the other ones to Ecker. Actually, no, the other way around. Can we risk that engine? Oh, it's such a massive performance increase over our second engine that we've got to risk it. We'll give that to Dreyfus. And that to Ecker. Actually, no, we'll give that to Ecker because the reliability is a little bit worse. So Ecker, that should hopefully help her come back up the grid a little bit. And if it does have a problem, at least our best driver can be reliable to the finish. We can use that new gearbox. We will give that to Ecker because it's still slightly worse than the other one. And we're good to go. Wow, we've got a lot of improvements to the car. I'm hoping we can move forward a good amount and have a really good race this time. So I'm going to get practice done and I shall be back with you for the race. Okay, practice is over then. Not too bad. 95 for Ecker, 96 for Dreyfus. Could have hoped for a couple of more percent than that, but we can deal with that. I'm sure our two drivers can try and get the best out of our cars. A lot of upgrades on the car as well, so we have to keep an eye out for reliability during the race. Unfortunately, we didn't get to level 2, just narrowly missed it. So we're going to go for race trim and quick fixes on Eckers' car, and we're going to go for engine expert and race trim on Dreyfus's. So we're going to go for, I think, soft tyres on both cars. Again, we can only have 10 laps of fuel in, so the medium tyres, we can't get the life out of them that we need. So we'll run them at some point just because we have to. But we'll start both cars on the soft tyres, try and get the best start possible. And we'll go for push and height. We will have to turn Eckers down very quickly though, because obviously she's got a lower percentage of reliability on that engine. But here we go then. Time for race number 6. And we're away. Pretty bad start from both drivers off the line. I'm guessing they're probably, yeah, the rest of the field pushing pretty hard. But we need to look after these cars. So everything pretty high on Dreyfus's. It's just that those brakes and that engine on Eckers we're going to have to manage. But we'll stay pushing for the moment. Eckers gone back quite a few positions. Dreyfus still at the back of the field, but that's not a problem early on. Looking like it's going to be a dry race. So we'll just let this play out as it normally does. We normally come on very strong towards the end of the stint. I'm sure that will happen again. Just going to speed it up a little bit at this point. Because I think we need to make these races a little bit quicker. There's no point to see the whole race anymore. We know roughly what we're doing by this point, just about. Some may argue I don't, but I feel I do. Ecker moving forward nicely then, back up into her original starting position of 10th. And she's gone down the middle of two cars there, up into 8th place. That's a cracking move. And Dreyfus is starting to move forward as well now. She's up into 18th. Go back to 19th there. Ecker absolutely fine. Right, we're going to turn the engine and everything down. We're going to do the same with Dreyfus. So we don't want to have any reliability issues. It's a little bit lower than I would like on some of the parts, but when you're pushing the performance as much as we're doing at the moment, you're going to see that. So Ecker up to 7th now. Dreyfus still at the back of the field. Nothing to worry about just yet, but she does need to start moving through the field a little bit more so that she's in the right position to push on later in the race. We may hit her a little bit early if this continues though, just to get her that free air. So she's back in 19th, and look at all this traffic she's got to get through. There's a four-way scrap going on ahead of her. She's going to go try and go around the outside Sebado into the final corner. Can't really do anything into turn 1, 2 and 3 either. I think she's gained position there. She lost it again. Ecker going back a little bit now. She's getting caught up, I think, trying to make a move on the end 7th, and lost 2 positions as a result. And she's going to lose another one here if she's not careful. So I think we might need to push. The tyres are pretty cold. Only 15 degrees out there, so it's not warming up properly at all, those tyres. So we need to get the drivers to push a little bit harder to do so. It's going to strain the car a little bit more, but at least we should get better performance. To be fair, I'd prefer it to be much cooler than too hot, because then at least you can push, you get the advantage of them driving quicker. And that's the excuse for doing it, is getting the tyre temperatures up. Dreyfus really starting to make some moves now, up into 15th. Ecker looks like she's got the pace to run with the front guys. She just needs to get the right brake when she's making the moves. She is now back onto the back of 7th, El Sadat. And hopefully when she tries to make the move this time, she won't go very backwards. Dreyfus up to 13th then. Making some great progress as well, and we just once everyone backs off from their initial runs, you see everyone's conserving now, or is back to yellow, and this is when we start coming back through the field. And if you're just patient, then you get the added benefit of saving the car, and you do eventually come back through the field. Ecker trying to make that move now, and does nicely into the final corner around the outside of Cavalcanti, up into 7th. Dreyfus is up into 12th. Ecker now trying to make a move on 6th. Doesn't quite come off for her. So which driver are we going to pit first? Looks like Ecker. Her tyres are running down the most. It's going to be a 2-stop race. There's no way we can do it on 1 because of the fuel load. So we may as well go early. I'm going to go early with Ecker. We're going to put the soft tyres on again. We're going to put 10 laps of fuel in. Yeah, so those parts are wearing down quite quickly. So we need to make sure not to push too much. Between now and the end of the race. Ecker up into 5th as she comes into the pits then. And we'll pit Dreyfus next time round. We're going to try and get the undercut on some people. We're going to brim that tank once again. Put some new soft tyres on. and Dreyfus' car looking a lot better in terms of the reliability. So Ecker will come back out of the tail of the field. We get to push straight out of the pits to try and keep those temperatures high. We didn't push quite early enough last time, or we backed off too early, and that's when we lost the tyre temps. So Dreyfus in heavy traffic now. Looks like a good time for her to pit then. She's clearly being held up by these two, and as they're battling so hard, when you've got two cars side by side, so many corners, there's not really much she can do about making progress. But she's going to sweep into the pits this time. She will come out a little way behind Ecker. Very close in the pit lane. She's almost clipped through them. Brilliant. And she comes back out 9 seconds behind Ecker. Ecker absolutely flying on that outlap. She's already making her way back through the field. So Ecker having a great race this time out. We just need to be careful with those parts. But she should be okay, I think, till the end. Those tyre temperatures are up now, so we'll go back to neutral. Make sure they don't drop too hard. Dreyfus will keep pushing until everyone's pitted. So we should probably do that with Ecker as well. So she's up to 4th now, and the front 3 haven't pitted. Dreyfus battling with Santa Ana out the pits. She doesn't quite come back out in that net second. Oh, she's lost another position. That's not good news. The AI have gone on to the medium tyres then, which we'll have to do in the final stint. Or will we? I seem to remember that we can actually just use 3 of the same compound, and there's no penalty for that, which is weird. I can't remember if that's this or the GT series or both. I don't really want to risk it, to be fair. Ecker is in the lead by an absolute country mile. That undercut has worked a treat. We'll go back to neutral on both cars, because they are starting to get into that red zone now. And we're flying. Those early stops have helped us out a lot. And because the fuel tank is 10 laps, it means we can go shorter. The AI are pushing it all the way up to that 10 lap mark on the first stint, when really they don't need to, because what is it, technically about 8 laps a stint, give or take a lap. So we've got a couple of laps leeway either way. We'll probably pit early again this time onto the mediums. So Masalia is slowly closing that gap on Ecker, but she's not exactly making massive inroads. And Ecker having a cracking race here. Dreyfus hanging on to Santa Ana in 3rd. Now these soft tyres are starting to look a little worse for wear already, to be fair. I don't know how they've worn so quickly. Mind you, I guess they've both done 5 laps already. So we'll be looking to pit on lap about 16, 17, maybe a lap later. We'll see how they hold up. That gap out front is now 7.7, so as I say, Masalia are really not making the inroads they need to. And look at this train of cars behind Dreyfus. Dreyfus really needs to try and get past Santa Ana, otherwise she risks being gobbled back up into this pack. 3rd to 12th are covered by, what are we talking, about 4 seconds. So there's a very fine margin between a podium and a disastrous race at the moment. And it's a good job Eckers out front, but Dreyfus now being taken by Nicanti. She's really got to be careful she doesn't get eaten up here. I think Dreyfus is going to have to make an earlier stop just to try and get ahead of this group in the final stint. 11 laps to go, so we need to get a couple more laps out of these at the moment. 3 more laps is what we can do. We'll probably push that as close to the limit as we can. All the AI on the medium tyres are going to go quite deep, I would imagine. And they will be on the quicker tyre in the final stint. So we need to get that undercut. Dreyfus is now back up to 4th. And once again trying to get past Nicanti. If we can get nicely clear of Nicanti in the final stint, then she's quids in for a podium as well. Eckers actually now extending that lead out front. What a great race our two drivers are having. Right, how's the Eckers car looking? Yeah, that gearbox is a little worrying. But hopefully she can coax it round to the end of the race. Especially with such a big advantage over second. Dreyfus, we're going to do one more. We'll do one more lap we can. So Dreyfus will pit next time round. Actually, it's Ecker that's got to pit first. What am I doing? So Ecker will pit this time round for medium tyres. We will brim that tank. 9.52. Really, 8 seconds. She's got an 8-second lead. It's very risky, but it does just shore up that gearbox a little bit. No, we're not going to risk it. We're going to take the 8-second lead over the gearbox change. We might live to regret that, but we'll see. Right, these tyres really too cold again. It's a very, very cold day out here in the forest. And that's really not helping our two drivers. So we'll push early in the third stint again. Trying to get those tyre temperatures up. So Ecker is going to come out ahead of Dreyfus almost. That is how good a race she's having. Medium tyres for Dreyfus as well. Brim that tank so we can push a little bit. Her car is holding up nicely. That gearbox is not as good as we'd hope, but should be alright. I can't believe Ecker's got almost a pit stop on Dreyfus. What a race she's having. Just when we needed her, we were complaining that the points difference between Dreyfus and Ecker. She has really dialed into this circuit this weekend. And we've given her a better car, to be fair. I think she might even have a slightly better car than the Dreyfus. And that works out for her. Okay, Dreyfus is going to make her final stop now then. It's Cruz in 10th she's trying to get back out ahead of. And she's going to do very comfortably. She's comfortably back out in 4th place then. The gap between Ecker and Masalia is 4 seconds. So it's that tyre wear. We've got to wait for those soft tyres to wear on Masalia's car. She will reel in Ecker in the meantime. Dreyfus has got a nice, about 5-second advantage over Veyen as well. But same kind of thing. Veyen will reel in Dreyfus to begin with, but towards the end we might have tyre life advantage, which might make the delta work the opposite direction. Okay, we're going to focus in on our race leader Ecker. That gap is down to 2.2 seconds now. That gearbox is looking a little worrying. We've got extra fuel if we need it. I'm a little bit worried about using it though, because of that gearbox. Can she hold Masalia off for 5 laps? Do we dare risk using that fuel? No, we're not going to fix the Ecker. We maybe should have fixed that gearbox, but I think if we were 8 seconds further back, we'd already be in second. Right, now you need to defend for your life, Ecker. The longer you can keep Masalia behind, the more those soft tyres will wear, and this race will come back to you. She's doing a great defensive job already. Exactly what she needs to do. Got a similar situation with Dreyfus in 3rd. There's a 3-second gap between her and Veyen. She's got a little bit more of a buffer. Already see those soft tyres are more heavily worn than Ecker's. They're still going to be slightly quicker at this point. The closer we get to the finish, the more that is going to go in the opposite direction. How is that crucial gearbox looking. It's now into the red zone, so we really cannot use that extra fuel. Dreyfus, we probably could, but she seems to do a fairly good job of managing that gap, and she's 27 seconds behind these two, so there's not much gain from pushing there. Keep an eye on that gap, but we will stay focused on this battle for the lead. Eckers doing everything she needs to do at the moment. It's just that gearbox that worries me at this point. Yep. Now we've got it flashing up there. As Masalia tries to make a move into the final corner. Eckers has it covered at every turn. Yep, 16%. It's going to be squeaky bum time. Let's hope she can get it across the line. At this point, I'm just hoping we finish in second if it does go bang. But for the moment, yeah, just please stop telling me about it. That gap is 0.7 seconds. 0.6, well, it's fluctuating wildly. Tyres still in better shape. And Masalia just cannot find a way through. And actually, that back marker is making its way back through. Such is the pace deficit of Eckers. We move on to the final lap then. That gap is 2.6 seconds for Dreyfus. She should be safe in third. Can Eckers make it over the line to take her first win of the season? Oh, it's incredibly close. That chicane coming up to a back marker. Let's hope it doesn't influence the decision. Eckers gets through. Doesn't lose any time. Just 1.5 corners to go. And she's done it. What a great result for Eckers. How badly was that needed? She takes victory in race number 6. Dreyfus will hold on comfortably to third. It was that bad start today that really cost Dreyfus. But it was that first pit stop that really won it for us. That undercut worked devilishly well and got our two drivers to the front, and Eckers controlled the race from there, and Dreyfus managed to get clear of that squabble of cars to take the final podium position. It's a double podium for our team then. That's without a doubt going to extend our lead in the Constructors' Championship, and that is as perfect a race as we could have hoped for. The car has definitely made progress. Both our drivers are back on form. Look at that, double podium. Beautiful. Dreyfus extends her lead to 10 points at the top of the championship. Eckers climbs 5 places to 5th. And that means now that we have a 13-point lead in the championship now. And this really is ours to lose at this point. What a fantastic race, fantastic result. And we are bang on target to win this championship now. I hope everybody enjoyed the episode. We are really starting to push on now. But as always, help, advice, comments, I would love to hear from you down below. Do hit that like button if you did enjoy the episode as well. Helps me out a little bit. And if you're new to the channel, don't hit that subscribe button. You can go check out the GT series, which we've been given a second life with at the moment, for a second season, and started that with a bang as well. So do go check that out as well. Nice bit of money to help develop the car. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you again next time.